Bakersfield has faced significant challenges related to crime, particularly gang activity, over the last 5 years. As the largest city in Kern County, Bakersfield has experienced a rise in violent crime, largely driven by gang-related incidents, drug trafficking, and economic disparities. Here's a detailed look at the crime trends and gang activity in Bakersfield from recent years. Bakersfield has seen an increase in violent crime rates over the past 5 years, with homicides, aggravated assaults, and shootings being major concerns. In 2022, Bakersfield ranked among cities with some of the highest violent crime rates in California. Property crime, including burglaries, motor vehicle theft, and vandalism, has also remained a problem. Bakersfield often experiences higher than average property crime rates compared to other similarly sized cities in California. A significant portion of crime in Bakersfield is connected to drug trafficking, particularly involving methamphetamine, fentanyl, and heroin. The city's location along major transportation routes makes it a strategic point for drug cartels moving narcotics from Mexico to the rest of the United States. Gang activity in Bakersfield has been a persistent issue, with multiple gangs operating in and around the city. These gangs are often involved in drug trafficking, violent crime, and territory disputes. Over the past 5 years, law enforcement has intensified efforts to combat gang-related violence, but gang presence remains significant. Some of the most notable gangs in Bakersfield include the Norteños, Suranos, East Side Crips, West Side Crips, Bloods, and smaller local sets. These gangs have strong ties to both the local community and larger statewide or national criminal organizations. Gang-related violence in Bakersfield often stems from territorial disputes, particularly between rival gangs like the Norteños and Suranos, who have long-standing feuds. Turf wars often result in shootings, murders, and retaliation killings. Much of the gang activity in Bakersfield is linked to the drug trade. Gangs control the distribution and sale of narcotics, leading to violent clashes with competitors. Fentanyl, methamphetamine, and heroin have become major sources of revenue for gangs in the city. Along with drug trafficking, some Bakersfield gangs have been involved in human trafficking, exploiting vulnerable individuals for profit. In recent years, homicides in Bakersfield have spiked, with many of these killings being gang-related. Shootings between rival gangs have occurred in both residential neighborhoods and public spaces, often involving innocent bystanders. To combat the rise in gang violence, Bakersfield Police Department has established several specialized units, such as the Gang Suppression Unit. These units focus on identifying gang members, conducting surveillance, and executing targeted operations. Local law enforcement has also partnered with federal agencies, such as the FBI and DEA, to dismantle larger criminal organizations. In 2022, Kern County authorities launched Operation Broken Chains, a large-scale investigation targeting violent street gangs. This operation resulted in the arrest of dozens of gang members, the seizure of firearms, drugs, and the dismantling of several criminal networks operating in Bakersfield. A worrying trend in Bakersfield is the involvement of young people in gangs. Gang recruitment often targets at-risk youth from impoverished neighborhoods, and juveniles have been increasingly involved in violent crimes. Community outreach and intervention programs are being implemented to address this problem. Some local law enforcement officials have cited California's Proposition 47, which reclassified certain drug and theft offenses from felonies to misdemeanors, as a factor contributing to increased criminal activity. They argue that this law has weakened the deterrence effect for crimes related to drug possession, which is closely tied to gang violence in Bakersfield. Gang activity has a profound impact on Bakersfield's communities, particularly in areas with lower socioeconomic conditions. Residents often face heightened fear of violence, and local businesses can be targeted for extortion or theft. public safety concerns have led to a growing demand for increased police presence, better gang intervention programs, and youth outreach initiatives aimed at preventing gang recruitment. Local nonprofits, churches, and community leaders in Bakersfield have joined forces to create outreach programs that aim to divert young people from gangs. Programs focus on education, employment opportunities, and conflict resolution. Schools in Bakersfield have also implemented gang prevention programs that aim to educate students about the dangers of gang involvement. Police officers regularly collaborate with schools to identify at-risk youth and provide mentoring services. Recent efforts to curb gang violence have included securing additional funding for Bakersfield's law enforcement agencies, allowing them to purchase technology like ShotSpotter, a gunshot detection system, and invest in more resources to track and prosecute gang activity. Despite the concerted efforts of law enforcement and the community, challenges remain. The large influx of illegal drugs, particularly meth and fentanyl, continues to fuel gang violence in Bakersfield. Moreover, the socioeconomic conditions that contribute to gang membership, poverty, lack of education, and limited economic opportunities, are still widespread. The ability to effectively reduce gang-related crime in Bakersfield hinges on continued investment in law enforcement, social services, and community-based programs that tackle the root causes of gang involvement. However, the problem remains deeply entrenched, and sustained long-term strategies will be necessary to see significant reductions in crime. While law enforcement has ramped up efforts to suppress gang violence, the complex nature of the problem requires a multifaceted approach involving both crime fighting and community engagement strategies. If you found this video interesting, be sure to give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.